Straight ahead on SGTV City Span, it's a new year and a new start to Savannah city government. We'll take you to the 2020 inauguration.
Good evening, Savannah. My name is Van R. Johnson II, and I am your mayor.
A full night filled with song and prayer, and of course, the oath of office. A full introduction of your Savannah City Council. We have plenty of public safety this month, a chance to turn up the heat and crumble some cookies, spread some holiday joy, and gather well-earned awards. As for Fire Rescue, a unique training opportunity on Savannah's west side. The Front Porch is celebrating 1 year, building on a program to assist our at-risk youth. We have plenty of history, from the Atomic Ranch to Dr. Otis Johnson and the Civil Rights era. Those stories and much, much more now on SGTV City Span. Welcome again to 2020, a fresh new start to a new decade, a new year, and a brand new season of City Span. We are happy to continue to bring you the news you need to know about your city. I'm Ken Slatz. So what else is new? Well, nearly a brand new city council. Longtime Alderman Van Johnson is now our mayor, and 7 new aldermen and women joined District 5's Dr. Estella Shabazz on the 2020 council.
I, Van R. Johnson II, perform the duties of the mayor of the city of Savannah, Georgia, without fear,
favor, or affection.
So
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mayor Johnson is already a 4-term city council member. He is joined by Dr. Estella Shabazz as the only returning members to council.
My esteemed colleagues, Post 1, Alderwoman Keisha Gibson Carter. Post 2, at large, Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely. District 1, Alderwoman Bernetta Bryant Lanier. District 2, Alderman Dedrick Leggett. District 3, Alderwoman Linda Wilder Bryant. District 4, Alderman Nick Palumbo. District 6, Alderman Curtis Purty.
Following the fanfare, Mayor Johnson got down to business, laying out his plan for inclusion, comparing it to his family's dinner table.
I know now that everybody to the table, everybody who comes to the table, brings something unique to the table. That is my vision for Savannah. We're going to make this table bigger, because for years we've had the same folks sitting at the same table, and there were people sitting there at the kiddie tables watching everybody else eat. This table of Savannah is going to stand on legs named trust, transparency, accountability, and inclusion. Together, you, I, us, we will build a bigger table and a brighter future. Savannah, come on in, choose your seat, sit down, and let's eat. May God bless us, and may God bless the city of Savannah.
And what a grand night it was at the Johnny Mercer Theater at the Civic Center. You know, it's hard to believe it's been a year since the Front Porch opened its doors. It is a first-of-its-kind resource here in Savannah. Here's our Amanda LeBreau showing us how it's helping hundreds stay out of the juvenile court system.
The Front Porch has been an amazing community effort.
That community support was on full display during the Front Porch's first anniversary celebration.
I don't think that I would be able to be where I'm at right now without the Front Porch.
The Resource Center is a hub for help, connecting young people like Reagan to community services like mental health counseling.
We have been able to connect a lot of children with therapeutic services, the counseling. Most of the families are really in need of counseling services, and they don't know where to go or who to reach out to for those services.
To have that support and to have people tell you you're not a bad person and you can pick it up and move on, It's really like inspiring.
It's a collaborative effort. Numerous agencies like the public school system, social service organizations, and the juvenile court system work together under one roof, creating a one-stop shop for families in crisis.
Different professionals and different community members know that, hey, I may not be able to help, but I know someone that can at the Front Porch.
The goal is to keep kids who are having behavioral problems but aren't committing crimes out of the juvenile court system.
When there's a kid with an issue, people just think it's a kid with an issue, but I mean, it's kind of deeper than that, and I think people fail to realize it. But the Front Porch does a really good job of recognizing it.
The Front Porch is really a concerted effort to identify the root causes, to help those families access the services or interventions by removing barriers, and also feeling like they have a place where they can go if they simply need help.
If we can just get one, that we divert from committing a serious act later on, then it's worth it to me. But we've done much more than just one.
In its first year, the center served more than 260 children and families.
We've been able to help families and children in new ways that courts traditionally have not, and it's led to fewer children coming into our court system.
I cannot tell you how elated I am to see a child who has been in a shell and they don't know how to communicate to being one of those kids that's getting out and taking lead in their communities as well as any situation that they're in.
The Front Porch hopes to expand its services and hours moving forward.
The Front Porch really does help.
Amanda LeBreau for CitySpan.
Thank you very much, Amanda. Turning to public safety, but kind of in a different form. Our firefighters are getting some valuable training using blighted houses on Cumming Street. Now, you may recall the city is taking over some properties on the west side, tearing them down and building new ones to sell. So why not let our public safety officers take advantage of that opportunity?
We're using this opportunity to practice some fireground tasks that are better conducted on real structures as opposed to a training academy.
Captain Thompson is leading the way, rotating companies in from all 3 battalions to get hands-on training across the department.
We have the opportunity to do things like force entry on actual doors, breach through interior walls, breach through floors, and as they demonstrate up there, vertical ventilation. A simulated roof is not as good as a roof that's actually been constructed for long-term use. It's generally a more durable surface. You have shingles.
And many other obstacles our firefighters may encounter.
When we get on fire scene, we're looking up.
So you can allow the smoke and fire, the smoke and the heat inside of a structure to be liberated. That makes it cooler inside the structure and also makes it clearer and more visible. This makes it easier to search for victims and makes it more likely if anyone is trapped inside the structure that they have a better chance of surviving.
And one key to survival and firefighting success is truly teamwork. It takes exercises like this one to strengthen that.
Basically, teamwork is the backbone of everything we do. There's very little you can do on your own. Even if you have a lot of skills, the smallest team you should work with is 2 people.
SFR trained a full week at those homes acquired through eminent domain. Several more sessions are anticipated for 2020.
This grant really highlights the importance of keeping individuals on our highways safe.
That's Chief Roy Minter from Savannah Police Department talking about the exciting news awarded from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. SPD has had its H.E.A.T grant extended. Originally awarded in 2016, it's a grant for Highway Enforcement of Aggressive Traffic, or H.E.A.T. The 2020 grant is for $118,000 and will help finance 3 traffic officer positions, regular operating expenses, telecommunications, and travel within the traffic unit.
And we're talking about traffic safety, we're talking about seatbelt enforcement, we're talking about speeding, we're talking about DUI laws. These are all things that have a significant impact on our community and on the safety of individuals on our highways. So it's very important for us to be able to partner with the Governor's Office of Highway Safety and for them to be able to provide additional funding that we can use to keep people safe on our highway.
This funding assists with programs such as Operation Rolling Thunder, Click It or Ticket, Operation Zero Tolerance, and others. We'll have more from SPD shortly, including well-deserved merit awards honoring members of the department going above and beyond the call of duty. We do need to take a break, though. We do have much more, as I said, from our public safety divisions, including a special visit from SPD to a local hospital.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
And Litter Team Activate, an in-depth look at how these folks are cleaning downtown Savannah. Are you ready for some history? This presentation takes us back to the civil rights movement from someone who was in the thick of it. As we head to break, grab a cookie with a cop.
We have a day every Wednesday. I pick her up from school, and I saw this on Facebook as an activity, and so I thought it would be great. And Papa's a retired cop, so we all came together to do cookies and have fun.
It's really fun because you get to decorate cookies like I did. I put red icing and green icing and sprinkles.
They have the horses out there tonight, all lit up.
My favorite part about it is petting dogs.
When you dial 911 for a structure fire here in Savannah, you will get at least 25 firefighters on your scene.
It's a lot more than just putting out the fire and then going back to our station. We will stay there to make sure that the citizens are taken care of.
Because we keep such a high level of training, the ability to adjust from one situation to another is extremely simple for us.
Savannah Fire is an internationally accredited agency and is an ISO Class 1 department. Only 2% of all fire departments have achieved this prestigious level. Think you have what it takes to be one of the elite? For more information, savannahfire.org.
Welcome back to City Span. State and local leaders are ensuring the memory of a fallen Savannah police officer isn't forgotten. Officer Anthony Christie died in the line of duty in May 2018. But Amanda LeBreau shows us now he'll be permanently remembered along I-16.
Drivers traveling along Interstate 16 will now see signs for the SPD Patrol Officer Anthony Christie Memorial Interchange near the Dean Forest Road exit.
It truly is an honor, and it really makes us proud for us to be able to continue to keep the memory of Anthony Christie alive. I mean, he was a great, very valued member of the Savannah Police Department, and one that I say we sorely miss.
There is a somber reminder in the spot where Officer Anthony Christie lost his life in May 2018 when a tractor trailer crashed into his patrol car.
We would hope that people would not only remember the legacy and the hard work of Officer Anthony Christie, but we would hope that it will also remind them of the safety aspect.
State Senator Ben Watson and his office worked to get the signs approved and installed.
Patrol Officer Christie exhibited extraordinary devotion to duty, outstanding loyalty, fine leadership, and meticulous attention to detail in all of his duties. It is abundantly fitting and proper that this remarkable and distinguished Georgian be recognized appropriately by dedicating an interchange in his memory.
It's also comforting for us and the family to know that we're continuing to honor, a great hero's legacy. I mean, this is another example of how somebody has stepped up and to show how proud and appreciative they are of a great hero's service.
Amanda LeBreau for City Span.
Thank you, Amanda. Officer Christie was also honored with a Purple Heart by SPD during its annual Meritorious Service Awards. Another fallen officer, Sergeant Kelvin Ansari, also received a Purple Heart, along with SPD's top honor.
The Medal of Honor is presented to an officer who is killed or seriously wounded in the line of duty while demonstrating exceptional bravery, gallantry, or extraordinary heroism. That officer is Sergeant Kelvin Ansari, who died in the line of duty in May 2019 while responding to a follow-up robbery call.
He gave his life. That was his life dream. He always have liked to be a peace officer.
The suspect fired shots that ultimately led to Sergeant Ansari's untimely death.
A death that certainly shook up our community. Sergeant Ansari was a true servant, a decade of service in Savannah, preceded by 2 decades serving our country.
I think he served well in the military of the United States of America. At the end of his career, he began to further his training to join the Savannah Peace Officers. And so I want to give thanks to Savannah for allowing him to be able to serve.
For our fallen heroes and their families who are here to honor them, I say thank you, thank you, thank you for their service, for their dedication, for their support of our community, and for standing up to be the ultimate law enforcement professionals in serving our community. Thank you.
SPD also handed out the Unit Awards, capping off 2019. Kudos goes out to the Civil Action Response Team, the Homicide Unit, Honor Guard, Major Case Unit of CNT, PAL Summer Youth Camp staff, and the Violent Crimes Task Force. You can check out this award ceremony on SGTV or head on over to our City of Savannah YouTube page. It's in the Savannah Police Department playlist. More from Savannah Police, and boy did the department get into the spirit of giving for the holidays. Just a couple of days before Christmas, several from the command staff checked into the children's ward at Memorial Hospital.
Let's go get it done.
They were certainly fired up to spread some joy. Assistant Chiefs Lenny Gunther,
we are ready,
and Stephanie Price led the charge for more than a dozen men and women in uniform.
Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty or nice.
Let's embrace this opportunity. Let's bring happiness and the season of cheer and thankfulness to these children. They're waiting for us. They're excited. Let's make their day.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
Coming on board thinking that we're here to give gifts to the kids and they're looking for the reaction from the kids, but actually you see these officers' eyes blurring up and overwhelmed with joy, and it's nice. It's a beautiful thing to see because they become a part of the whole power of giving.
It's really fun for us to do this and really be grateful for the opportunity.
It is absolutely makes Christmas so much more special for us.
Bonnie Walden with Bay Street Blues has been collecting toys to help out SPD for 3 years now.
I love working with these guys, and this is the one fundraiser we do where you get to see the results because you get to see the smiles on all these beautiful children's faces.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas!
And thank you to all our officers. Smiles on young ones' faces, truly great to see. We do need to step aside one more time, but still to come.
They speak to the promise of what people were fighting for.
He was smack dab in the middle of the civil rights movement. He's Dr. Otis Johnson, Armstrong State's first African-American graduate. He'll introduce us to a collection of photographs from WW Law. Plus, city staff fully engaged in filling up the shelves for America's second harvest this holiday season. Straight ahead, Litter Team Activate. But as we take our final break, check out this year's Mayor's Motorcade, taking gifts and more to Georgia Regional Hospital for the annual event. We'll be right back.
vibe, let's try to keep it up. It's where we party every day, so through the week is up. And everybody having fun, nobody deep as us. We got our own style, but we just gotta clean it up. I love my home, down by the water. I told her that I'm a southern girl from down by the border, and ain't nothing changed about me. That's how Savannah raised me, history in the making. Everybody love me, it's amazing, this where we live. How about we take some pride in it, thrive in it. I'ma pull up and take a ride in it. And it's so easy to go put it in a basket. This is my home, don't trash it.
And welcome back to the Stretch Run of City Span. I'm Ken Slatz. The Litter Clean Team is a partnership between the city and the Union Mission. Its goal, to hire, train, and pay the homeless or those living with disabilities who are having trouble finding a job. It's an expansion of the Greenscapes Department, honing in on the historic district. That's River Street and south to the squares.
Just picking up the litter that's along these streets that people decide they don't want to take with them, I guess. I like the area where they got us working at. Couldn't ask for a better area to work, really couldn't. It's rewarding, you know, out here making the city prettier. I know that's one thing that impressed me when I got to Savannah, is it was very clean. I hope it springboards into more work. Hope it springboards into getting more people working.
The city's year-long, more than $140,000 contract with Union Mission meets two strategic plan goals: reestablishing and preserving neighborhoods and providing soft skills and workforce training for the unemployed and the underemployed. The 1960s in Savannah were certainly difficult times, especially for African Americans. The civil rights movement and the charge for equality was led by W.W. Law, a man who preserved stories of the times visually.
They speak to the promise of what people were fighting for.
Former Mayor Otis Johnson, along with our Municipal Archives Department, chose a collection of pictures from the massive Law Archive to display at our Cultural Arts Center. They titled it 5 Years That Changed Savannah Forever.
Those little kids are saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. They're not afraid of each other. Probably most of them haven't been taught to really hate yet. But that's the possibility.
Complementing the collection, Dr. Johnson spent time in front of a large crowd, highlighting some of the pictures preserved by W.W. Law.
Tremendous opportunity to lift up W.W. Law and the work that he had done, and to expose some of the thousands of artifacts that comprise the W.W. Law collection.
Including ones Johnson appeared in himself, like this one, breaking the color barrier at Armstrong State University.
I made my way over as quickly as I could get there to the NAACP office to say, Mr. Law, I've applied to transfer, and they have acknowledged the receipt of my application. Like I said, we were desegregating anything and everything we could. I thought that this was something really exciting. So I went through the process, and they admitted me, and there I am. 1 year later, receiving my Associate of Arts degree from Armstrong as the first African American. You can see from the beginning in March the 16th, 1960, until this Solidarity March in 1965, things were changing.
And I can personally say this was a tremendous honor to video and just listen to Dr. Johnson at this program. You too can see it. The full discussion is airing at various times on SGTV, Comcast Channel 8, and on demand. It's on our City of Savannah YouTube page. We've placed it under our Hungry for History Lectures playlist.
You don't need to be an architectural historian to identify this most ubiquitous of house types. If you're around my age, chances are you either grew up in a ranch house or live in one now. Ranch house subdivisions were everywhere in the suburban environs of 1950s, 60s, and 70s America.
Bob Susevich's own personal and professional discovery of the significance of the ranch house began when his own grandmother's house, a 1953 ranch house, reached historic eligibility status.
What finally convinced me that at least ranch houses were important was the realization that my grandma's house would be 50 years old in 2003. For others, grandma's house, or at least I imagined, was a wonderful old Victorian house downtown or a two-story colonial revival in a midtown early 20th century subdivision. My grandma's house, however, was a 1953 ranch house in one of Savannah's first ranch developments.
It continued through his involvement with a listing of Fairway Oaks on the National Register of Historic Places in 2009, making it the first mid-century subdivision in Georgia and among the first in the nation to achieve such a designation.
Not only was the subdivision completely intact, it boasted one of the earliest and best collections of mid-century houses in the city, including split levels, site-specific architect-designed homes, American small house, and of course ranch houses.
Many of Savannah's mid-century subdivisions developed as a result of the large concentration of military installations in Savannah, like Hunter Air Force Base, hence the title Atomic Ranch. With many of these neighborhoods now protected with National Register designation, Susevich says the time may be right to consider the historical significance of some of Savannah's other mid-century architecture as well.
We've come a long way since Grandma's house, and hopefully we have learned our lesson about the potential significance of the recent past. And with that, I will leave you with this latest conundrum. Constructed in 1969, 50 years ago, Savannah Civic Center has attained the threshold age for evaluating its significance. The National Park Service recently stated that the Savannah Civic Center may obtain significance over time and that its demolition could potentially further threaten the status of the Savannah Landmark Historic District. It is the only example of monumental new formalism in Savannah and likely South Georgia. Stay tuned.
And you can check out the full Atomic Ranch over on our City of Savannah SGTV Comcast Channel 8 page. We also do have all our Hungry for History lectures in one playlist on our City of Savannah YouTube page.
Wow, this is so exciting. Look at all this food. I mean, we cannot imagine. It is just going to help us so much. It's going to help the community. We cannot begin to thank the City of Savannah enough. When you just think about the sheer numbers, I think like 95% of the city employees actually participated by bringing cans in. You know, we all see this in our own neighborhoods and at our churches and places that we go, at our synagogues. We see the hunger and we see the child that doesn't know what they're going to eat tonight. So to know that the people that every day help us, the people of Savannah really care, and especially the city employees really care about their community and they want to make it a better place to live.
What a wonderful time for the City of Savannah during the holidays. How about this? 40,000 cans collected by city staff and through parking tickets that you could exchange for. Also, 46,801 pounds of food heading to America's second harvest of the coastal empire. Congrats to all that were involved with that. That's going to do it for our January 2020 City Span. Thank you so much for joining us for all your news and information in and about the City of Savannah. Do keep it tuned to SGTV. You can also visit our website, that's savannahga.gov, or check us out on social media. We are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Ken Slatz. Thanks for watching, and thank you for making Savannah your home.